I go in the bank. I'm waiting to cash a check for like $6,000. Next thing I know, bam, a cop walks up. They grab me from behind. They arrest me. They walk me in the back. That's it. I already know I'm on the Secret Service's most wanted list. They take me in the back. They sit me down. All the customers are looking at me. Guy says, Mr. Sullivan, we're waiting for the detective to show up. I'm thinking detective, okay, that's like FBI or something, I guess. He's coming. Well, then this cop comes in and he says, hey, I'm with the Richmond County Sheriff's Department. Fraud Department called us. They said you're running some kind of a scam. You're pulling out cash. I go, are you serious? He goes, I said, look, man, am I under arrest? He's like, no. I said, well, I feel like I'm under arrest. And I show him my cuffs and he goes, oh, take those off him. Takes them off me. They call the Wachovia head of security. He's on the phone. He says, okay, now what's going on? He's borrowed how many loans? He said, you got 3 loans on the house. I actually had like 6. Oh, okay. I said, yeah, is that illegal? And the guy goes, I'm not really sure. And I remember right then thinking, I'm walking out of here. I just got to convince this guy I haven't done anything wrong. I start arguing with him. This guy's saying he's got all first mortgages. I'm saying they're not all first mortgages. Wachovia is a first mortgage because they know they lent me a first mortgage. And he goes, who are the other ones? And he goes, oh, SunTrust and so and so. Right, SunTrust is a credit line. The other one is a second mortgage. That's the 3. And he's like, well, he wants to know why you took out all that money, $500,000 on a $200,000 house. I said, bro, I don't know how it works. I work for a labor company. I give him my business card. I said, all I know is I came here, the woman, I told her I needed $500,000. The loan officer said, I can get you this much. I got a friend over here, she can get you this much. It sounds to me like they got a problem at the bank. Okay. And the guy's screaming, it's a shotgunning scam. You don't understand. He's doing this, he's doing that. And he's like, and I'm saying, man, I wouldn't know how to do this. I don't know what he's talking about. And he says, yeah, this guy he works for a labor company. He doesn't, and he's like, well, why are you pulling out all this cash? And I go, well, I'm cashing guys' checks. I mean, I got a bunch of Mexican guys that doing roofs and they don't take checks, or I give them a check and I cash a check. I mean, is that illegal? No, that's not illegal. Okay. He eventually says, okay, I'm going to take him downtown, have him fill out a police report. I'm waiting for the district attorney to call me back. I don't even know what to charge him with, if I can charge him with anything. I follow him to the police station. I go in the police station, fill out the police report. I'm waiting in the hallway. My wanted poster, by the way, is on the wall. Fill out the report. Guy walks me out. I get in my car. I leave. I go straight to 2 more banks and get out more money.
At what point did you know you're on the Secret Service wanted list?
It was a sheriff's deputy that came and told me, look, FBI's formed a task force. I'm already on probation. I had lost the mortgage company. I started this huge scam, went for about 1.5 years, 2 years, got $11.5 million. But suddenly on like a Thursday, this sheriff's deputy shows up and says, listen, I used to date this chick on the works for Tampa PD. He was with Hillsborough County. He said she came to me because I'd done a bunch of loans for him. Came to him in the morning, early one morning, like 6 o'clock in the morning, and said, look, your buddy Matt Cox is going to be arrested in the next few days. I worked on a task force. We just handed it over to the FBI. They're going to arrest him in the next couple days. So he tells me that on a Thursday. So I have literally an hour left in the day and the whole next day to get out as much cash as I can, because I'm thinking I'm leaving. I can't go to prison. Look at me. I'm too cute to go to prison. Within a day or so, I get like 80 grand out in cash. We take off on the run. We go straight to Atlanta. We rent a house. I satisfy the loan on the house. I borrow about $400,000. I pull the cash out of the bank.
Wire transferred $250,000 out of a customer's account without the customer's authorization. So I sit this woman down and I get talking to her, and there's no way she did it. But she confesses to me that she would never log off her computer when she would go to lunch. And so there's this 1 hour window of time where her computer's unguarded and another employee evidently hopped on the computer and wire transferred $250,000 out of a customer's account. And so we begin taking a look at like who went to lunch at different times and cameras in different places, and we narrow it down to a woman by the name of Tawana Roberts. Now, the money ended up going into a bank account at a different bank. So it goes to an account that had been established the day before with a $100 like minimum deposit. Like someone established the account. The next day, $250,000 gets wire transferred into the account. The account was under the name of Carran's Smith. As soon as the wire transfer comes in, Carran's Smith shows up to withdraw $250,000. And the teller, who had been properly trained, said, what's going on here? And he said, well, I sold a car. And she goes, you sold a car for $250,000? I mean, a house. He had no good answers. And eventually he gets nervous and leaves. So the money was recovered.
Found an AR-15 behind this guy's bed, throw the gun on the top of the bed, wrap it up with a blanket and put it by the window because I got to crawl back out the window. And then I started looking more. I found we had an AR-15. I found an SKS, a Mossberg 12 gauge pump with I found a 45 Thompson, which is a Tommy gun. So I take a bunch of the guns back. I think at that time I had about 3 or 4 guns. I climb out the window. I'm scared, but I'm walking down the street with this blanket. I go to my brother. We're at this chick's house. We had partied the night before. And I say, hey, there's a bunch of guns. Let's go back. So we go back and get the rest of the guns. There ended up being 7 of them. The guy was a military weapons specialist for the Marines. So it was a big deal in the papers, news, everything. They put a reward for the guns. They're like, hey, we need to get these off the streets. I guess. So the guy I was chilling with, name was Jeremy. He was my neighbor on like a corner. It was like a little apartment building on the corner from where I was staying at. I guess the feds came to my neighbors. All I know is he had his house wired for sound and cameras, and they were watching us. But prior to like he even had his house sound or wired, my brother ended up getting robbed for the guns. Because we're kids, you know what I mean? So they couldn't find anything, whatever. So they just, feds came to us. They grabbed me first. And I'm a kid. I just tell on myself.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, we got you.
Yeah.
We got you. And I'm like, okay. You know what I mean? But again, I was so young. I just went to JDC 21 days. I was out. I'm sitting in the front. This guy gets on stage and he's like, I did $120 million net last year with his freight broker transportation company. He's like, I've been in prison. He like, I got out 10 years ago. I started this company. He's like, now we hire felons. I'm like, I'm coming to work for you, right? And everybody thought I was freaking crazy, bro. The dude next to me like, oh yeah, like laughing, like think it was funny. Pulled up on him. I said, look, man, I'm coming to work for you. I said, I'll be an asset to your company. And I don't even know what he does. I don't even know nothing about transportation, nothing. I don't know. I didn't even know it was sales. I didn't know what sales. I just said, I'm coming, bro. And he's like, where do you live? Like, I live 6 hours away. I said, but I'm moving to Tampa. He says, you move to Tampa, I'll give you a shot. And this is how I knew it was real, though, because his company, he was worked there, and all these dudes got really nice cars. They're all from prison. You got people making $500,000 a year. Just got out of chain gang. So I knew I could do it. Tuesday, I called him. I said, I'm in Tampa, bro. I literally went home, sold everything in my house, drove to Tampa, and had no place to stay. There's a chick named Julia, which is the mother of my brother's child. Right. And I'm like, I need a place to stay for a couple of days. So I figure something out. She's like, you can stay here. So I go there, and her house wasn't all that. And I'm like, oh, this is not a good spot for me. You know what I mean? And my grandmother, out of nowhere, she's like, you could come stay. She's like, you're staying at Julia's. You could come stay here. So I did that. I start staying there, and I start going to work at the job. They put you in like training. So you get 6 weeks of training. All right. And they give you $600 a week for 6 weeks, and then that's it, right? But I don't know nothing about, I didn't even know this was sales, right? So when I get there, they're like, oh, you got to cold call people. What the hell is this? Like cold call? They're like, no, yeah, you got to for like 4 months, I didn't make any money. I just was going down, 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 down. Bad. And I never thought to ask like what the job was or whatever. So I was in a really dark place. And then I got in a really bad car accident. Right when I got down there, when I started like everything was going down, I'm only making $600 a week. That's not even covering gas or no. That's like not covering traffic, food, nothing. I'm talking about like I'm literally just losing money, bro. I'm maxed out on all my credit cards, everything just like down fast. I was like, I wanted to run. I wanted to jump ship. Like, what am I gonna do? I'm like, what did I do? Right. Like, what did I do? I'm like, oh, I messed up this time. And then some told me just to go back to the basics. I'm like, what am I doing right now? They're like, well, you stop listening to audio tapes. You haven't been self-developing. I said, I made a commitment. I said, you haven't taken responsibility. I said, you know what? It don't even matter. I said, look, I'm going to go back here. I remember I packed my stuff up, dude. It was a Friday because I'm the only one in the office. Nobody even goes to the office.
Right.
You could work from home. Like I go, it doesn't matter. You like work remotely or whatever. And at this time, nobody's at the office. And I'm literally in it. No one's training me or nothing. They just literally put me in front of the computer like, here you go. And so I came to like several, like, what am I doing? I'm like, I stopped doing what I was supposed to be doing. And I snapped back. I started getting all my sales books, reading sales books. And I just started studying really, really hard, man. And I ended up, bam, I started hitting, right? I remember first week I hit $2,500 a week. Bam.